Hello, my name is Myka Palentinos.
And my name is Desiree Angela Smith.
And we are now live at WNN. And our main topic for today is human trafficking and the rise in Cambodia. Day by day, the amount of young girls and women being sold for sex is increasing due to poverty and debt. 94% of trafficking victims were trafficked by their mothers.
During a private interview, a traffic survivor explained her difficult journey through the sex trafficking industry. Due to safety issues, we will not show the interview.
During the interview, the young girl described how dozens and dozens of girls were lined up with numbers while the customers picked the number and had the girl delivered to a private room.
She also mentions how she was taught to treat her customers, what to ask, and what information not to give out. This young girl lost her virginity to a pimp in front of his wife. According to the interview, he taught her the different types of positions while his wife sat and watched.
Can you believe this? What has this world become to?
Well, to answer your question, Myka, we will be interviewing a sex trafficking and Cambodian background expert, Joseph Jansen.
So, Mr. Jansen, please tell us more about the background of Cambodia.
Well, Cambodia is in Southeast Asia. One of their current environmental issues is their low ability of households adds advantage, including natural capital, pollution, and existence of conflicts over resources. The length of schooling for males is 10 years and for females is 9 years, which is very short compared to the U.S. years of school of 17 years, including college. The population below poverty line is 31%. The important issue that we are focusing on is the increasing amount of sex trafficking that is taking place.
So we are back at WNN. So, Mr. Jansen, would you care to elaborate more on sex trafficking in Cambodia?
From the years of 1887 and 1953, Cambodia was a colony of France. Following these Japanese occupation in World War II, in 1953, it gained full independence. In April 1975, after a 5-year struggle, Communist Khmer Rouge captured Phnom Penh and evacuated all the cities, which demolished most businesses. Most people in Cambodia focus more on agricultural means for gaining income. Colonialism brought some features of modernization to Cambodia, but economic changes benefited European-run businesses, not local people. Much of Cambodia's wealth that was taken from these Cambodia, the average and local Cambodian saw little to none of these benefits. For many years, they were forced to stick to farming jobs in order to gain an income, agricultural jobs, which were unprosperous and income depended on how much of the yield a family or group produced each year. Families for generations to stick to these jobs they don't know how to get out and gain other skill sets, which leads to sex trafficking. Poverty is linked with the economy and many people do not have jobs. Women are sold into sex trafficking in order to provide for the rest of the family. Women in Cambodia's society are oppressed and do not have much options in society to gain money. Some of the causes of sex trafficking are illiteracy and lack of education. 80% of women cannot read or write. Many homes need an education to move up in the social ladder and find jobs to get money. There are so little schools in Cambodia, and male children get the privilege, little to none of these benefits. For many years, they were forced to stick to farming jobs in order to gain an income, agricultural jobs, which were unprosperous and income depended on how much of the yield a family or group produced each year. Families for generations to stick to these jobs they don't know how to get out and gain other skill sets, which leads to sex trafficking. Poverty is linked with the economy and many people do not have jobs. Women are sold into sex trafficking in order to provide for the rest of the family. Women in Cambodia's society are oppressed and do not have much options in society to gain money. Some of the causes of sex trafficking are illiteracy and lack of education. 80% of women cannot read or write. Many homes need an education to move up in the social ladder and find jobs to get money. There are so little schools in Cambodia, and male children get the privilege. There are so many little schools in Cambodia, and the male children get the privilege to go to school while the women stay home. For the girls who do get an education, only 5% of them actually get to finish school. And due to this lack of education, many women are exposed to being manipulated by people who take advantage of them. No education causes poverty. Every month, more than 1,000 women are trafficked to work as sex slaves.
That was Joseph Jansen with the information on sex trafficking.
This just in. We have leaked video footage of the girl survivor in Cambodia.
So, Beep, tell me how you got into the sex trafficking industry.
Well, my family was very poor and starving, so I dropped out of school and started looking for work. When I was about 12, a lady came up to me and asked me to work as a maid in a hotel. She said to pack my things and go with her to the hotel immediately. To help my family, I jumped at the offer.
What happened at the hotel?
They locked me in a room with a strange man. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. Moments later, a pimp came in and told me that I am now his property and I will do whatever he says, or else he will kill me. Later that night, him and his wife came into the room. He then explained what my job would be.
Why didn't you resist? What was your job?
I was too scared to do anything. I feared for my life. He said he'd let me go when I was done working, so I just did what he told me to do.
What did he tell you to do?
He told me to always be polite to my customers and give them whatever they wanted. He showed and taught me how to perform oral and anal. He also took my virginity while his wife was watching.
Wow, that must have been hard for you.
Yes, it was.
What was the work environment like?
We were all lined up, hanging around the 6th floor of the hotel. We were barely dressed and had numbers attached to us, while men stared at us, picked a number, and paid. If we were picked, they delivered us to the room after a couple of minutes.
Now we have a sex trafficking reenactment.
There are more human slaves in the world today than ever before in history. Human traffickers often use the Sudanese phrase, use a slave to catch slaves, meaning traffickers send broken-in girls to recruit younger girls into the sex trade. Sex traffickers often train girls themselves, raping them and teaching them sex acts. A human trafficker can earn 20 times what he or she paid for a girl. Provided the girl was not physically brutalized to the point of ruining her beauty, the pimp can sell her again for a greater price because he had trained her and broken her spirit, which saves future buyers the hassle. A 2003 study in the Netherlands found that on average, a single sex slave earned her pimp at least $250,000 a year. The end of the Cold War has resulted in the growth of regional conflicts and the decline of borders. Many rebel groups turned to human trafficking to fund military actions and gun. Human traffickers are increasingly trafficking pregnant women for their newborn. Babies are sold on the black market where the profit is divided between the traffickers, doctors, lawyers, border officials, and others. The mother is usually paid less than what is promised her, citing the cost of travel and creating false documents. A mother might receive as little as a few $100s for her baby. Family members will often sell children and other family members into slavery. The younger the victim, the more money the trafficker receives. For example, a 10-year-old named Gita was sold into a brothel by her aunt. The now 22-year-old recalls that when she refused to work, the older girls held her down and stuck a piece of cloth in her mouth so no one would hear her scream as she was raped by a customer. She would later contract HIV. Due to globalization, every continent of the world has been involved in human trafficking, including a country as small as Iceland. These facts were from facts.randomhistory.com.
So what do you think about sex trafficking?
Hey guys! So, I'm Michelle and I'm here to talk about sex trafficking. First of all, I think that sex trafficking is very wrong. I mean, who thinks selling people or getting people as slaves is like right? It's not even right for animals. So what do you think? Humans, you know? Anyways, I think it's very wrong. So, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. What do you think?
When I think about sex trafficking, that it's very wrong, and I don't feel like a person should be forced to do something, especially with women, because you know, women, they make the world better, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you shouldn't be forced to do something you're not, especially something as horrible as sex, because sex is a powerful thing. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
I feel that sex trafficking is not right and is very wrong because I feel like every person have the right to have a consent on what they want and like not be forced, and yeah, and it really affects their like life, like every day they must be like traumatized and stuff. What do you think?
I feel that sex trafficking is bad.
So what are the solutions?
I think we should put more schools in local towns in Cambodia because research shows that more education is linked to less sex trafficking.
I think the government should stimulate more jobs in Cambodia so that more people can gain a source of income and less people don't have to turn to desperate ways to get money.
So I think we should be more aware of sex trafficking signs and report it to authorities or do something about it ourselves. Or we become just as bad as the sex traffickers themselves.
Enroll in an international organization to help stop trafficking. You can make a difference. And that concludes our presentation. Bye!